Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back for another recap. So we finally made it to the season finale of season 5, Tyler Perry's Sistas, episode 22, with Too Little Too Late. Let's just say this episode was like a world spin. Like, yeah, that's what I got to say. So we're going to get into it. So it starts off with, Zach talking to Fatima in the break room. And he's like, so we're not going to talk about this baby daddy you got and this kid that you got for 9 years. She was like, look, I don't like the little bastard. Like, that was like in the past. But come to find out, sis set him up. Like, yeah, you see how it feels, right? He was like, yeah, I get it. So you calling the little kid a bastard like that? I don't get that part. You like, that triggers me because my mama didn't like me. And he was just like, he was going through it. But Fatima got him good. Yeah, you see how it feels. Like, you see how it feels, right? Yeah, you don't like it. But you see, I'm still here hanging through with you by your side. So, yeah, he was like, I get it. But he was fuming on the fact that she could have a possible baby daddy. And, yeah, so eventually that was that. He did go take her to go get something to eat. The girl loved to eat. She loved to eat. So they got to go get some food. Then, what else happens? Fast forward, next part. Hayden and Gary. Supposedly, Robin never shows. And they think they're in the clear. And they sent out an email, I guess, talking about, Robin's no longer the company with her case would be. I do not know what the email was, but them to set out the email while they're in Hayden's office. And then Hayden talks about meeting up with Tamara. And Gary was like, have you vetted her? What's this deal with this Tamara girl? He was like, yeah, I vetted her. No, and Dago, he did not vet her. He was like, nah, but what goes on between me is me. Like, listen, I got this. She is good hands. And Gary was like, yeah, right. She could be playing you. She was like, yeah, and Hayden was like, yeah, whatever. But Gary be on to some things. But when it comes to his own relationship, I just be like, but he be spot on by other people's stuff. Like, okay, he's very conniving and smart at the same time. So I can see why Andy be falling into his trap. Because, boy, he can get you. He can really win. And he don't want to spit you out. That's how you do Andy. But anyways, that was that. Moving right along, Andy and Fatima, they meet up in the lobby and talking about how they're good with their relationship wise and stuff like that, and that they're going home for the day because Andy's on her way to go see Danny and the girls, and then Fatima's going home to Zach because they got a meeting with Heather. So yeah, that's that. Moving right along. Calvin finally returns home to Maurice. And Calvin is still going through it, like, because what Maurice said really hurt him and shook him to his core. Like, you think I was just sitting here letting this man do this stuff to you and I'm living here, but I'm not going to say anything? No. Make it make sense. So Maurice apologized, and Calvin also let him know that, listen, he took half of my stuff too. Like, you're not the only one that's missing stuff. Like, you got to do what you do. Because I know in the back of his mind, Calvin's thinking, like, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. Because had he pressed charges on him when he wrote them checks, when he stole Calvin's checkbooks and wrote them checks and took his money, they definitely would have been in that situation. Like, Maurice, he's not making it, like, the correlation, he's not making it go through, because it's like, you let this man take Calvin's checks and cashed them at your bank. And then at that same time frame, he went ahead and robbed your bank. So the common denominator is you, Maurice. But anyways, so sorry guys. So Maurice apologized to Calvin and let him know that, listen, I appreciate you, and you know, I'm going to try to go get my things back. And yeah, because he took everything out of his house and he got his car. So that was that. Moving right along. The incident with Aaron, John, whatever the case may be, his name is, at Kara's salon with the girl Jennifer. Let's just say Karen looking at him in a new light, like, what's really going on? And the girl's like, listen, you're not the only one. That's what he does. He basically gets you to think that you're the only one. And Karen is just standing there with Pam in the background, just like, she don't know really what to say. So eventually, Aaron and the girl Jennifer are going back and forth at it. He's telling her to get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. And then she's yelling back and forth at him. And then eventually she punches him and says, F you, mother effer. And then storms off. Now, Aaron is trying to tell Karen, like, listen, I will explain everything to you later, but just right now, I got to go ahead and make a police report. I will explain everything to you later in full. Just let me go handle this. So eventually he escorts Karen back to the door so that she can get ready to go back into work. And then he gets in his car and leaves. Karen and Pam are still outside talking. And Pam was like, listen, she did shed some light onto some situation. It was like, dang, Pam, the girl was there. The girl's wife came there, shot her in this place. And now you got this situation happening at your place. Like, make it make sense. You know, I wrote down the license plate. I got a homegirl that can find out information on her and who she really is. Just let me know. And Karen was like, nah, I'm good. But Pam was like, listen, let me know. If you need it, I got you. She eventually did a woosah moment and was like, and went back into the office. One thing I say, Pam is be slaying her outfit. She looked bad in that jacket dress. I was just like, what in the world? They be hooking her up. Karen, she's kind of like at a loss for words right now. And yeah, she eventually shook it off too and then went back inside to do some more work. Moving right along, we have, the girls. Yeah, the girls finally meet up at Danny's house. And no. Zach, he goes to show, he goes to Karen's job. He greets Pam. Pam is talking to her like she's in the mood. He was like, I'm just here to talk to her. And Pam was like, I heard some things about y'all in the back room. Don't be doing that again because, you know, I still got to clean it up back there. He was like, listen, I heard some things about you back there too. And she was like, shh, shh. This between me and you, like, don't speak that too loudly. Like, listen, all right? So he goes into the office and he tells Karen, like, listen, I'm just trying to apologize for what happens with that. And, you know, here she go with her little nasty attitude towards him. Like, you want him, but you don't want him. Like, make it make sense. You can't pull him around. He is not your personal puppet. Like, where you can play with him when you want to or when you feel in a good mood to be dealing with him. Like, he came to apologize. She was like, nah, I'm good, whatever. You can go now. I was like, listen, I'm just trying to apologize for how things went down and stuff like that. He's like, and yeah, she was like, nah, I'm good. So I might sign the papers and then I might not sign the papers. If I feel up to it and I want to sign them, I'll let you know. And he was like, yeah, whatever. So I'm just apologizing and saying sorry. And she was like, yeah, you and me both. Because she's acting like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, like I said, she want him, but then she don't want him. Like, stop playing with this man. Like, I can honestly see why the things transpired between them. Because it's like, you wasn't really like that type of person towards him that he was looking for in his time of need. So I honestly see why things fell apart between them. And you can tell she's like so verbally like nasty towards him. For what? Not even that serious. Okay, he cheated on you. I've seen people that's been cheated on and they handle their exes accordingly and more cordial than how Karen be treating Zach. Like, come on now, make it make sense. You don't want him no more, but you want him. Whatever. So eventually he said what he had to say and she kicked him out and he's like, whatever, and then he left. So now Zach is at home. Fatima gets home and she got some papers in her hand. And they greeted each other. And he's still fuming about what happened earlier. And she was like, yeah, I got you. Good. Yeah. Uh-huh. And she gave him a kiss. And she goes to sit down. She was like, listen, go open the door. He was like, what? She was like, go open the door. Next you know, he was like, what you got, woman intuition? I mean, it be like that, though. We be spot on about some certain about things. And just be like, yeah, we gotta trust the women intuition because it never stays wrong, like, for real. And he opens the door, and it's Heather. And he got, like, and when he lets her in, and she's walking in, and he's walking behind, he makes this face like, why the heck is she here? But anyways, she sits down, and then he goes to sit down next to Fatima. And Fatima was like, listen, we gotta talk to you, and stuff like that. And Zach was like, listen, we gotta talk to you about this child support. And Heather was like, listen, I gotta talk about this with my lawyer. And Fatima reminded her, like, listen, you had a lawyer, you don't have one now. And she's like, well, I'm gonna get another one. She was like, well, just hear what Zach has to say. And he's about the child support. She was like, so how much? And he was like, $2,000 a month. She was like, oh yeah, where do I sign? Like, sis, that right there shows she ain't worried about the child. She worried about what she can do with that $2,000 for herself. Because the way she was so happy about it, like, oh, yeah, it's about to be lit. Now you be like, okay, that's cool, that's fine. You're more cordial and, like, in the mix, like, okay, yeah, that's cool, okay. But it's the way she was hyped about it, like, what? Yeah, sis is worried about herself than her child. I've seen those type of parents. So, Fatima was like, listen, take these papers. You need to check this over with a lawyer. She was like, no, I'm about to sign this right now. Zach was like, listen, check this over with a lawyer. She's like, I got somebody in mind. Then she ended up leaving. And he was like, what type of thirstiness was that? Like, Fatima was like, yeah, I know. So they decided to go up. Wait, is this? Yeah. To go ahead and end their night and whatever. So now we get to the girls getting to Danny's house. Let's just say things were left. They tried to talk to Danny about, like, what's going on. Why did she sleep with the enemy? First of all, she didn't know that was the enemy because clearly nobody told her. Y'all literally let her go all these episodes without telling her the man's name. And that's all their faults too, because Andy and Sabrina knew. Like, y'all should have brung it up a little bit sooner and said the guy's name. And then she probably would have been a little bit more, like, cautious and on the fence about the situation. So, whatever, the girls try to tell her what she was doing is wrong. And they try to tell her, like, listen, these are the days that, you know, how you was in college. And Danny flipped the script on them. She was like, listen, we was all doing some things and how we was in college. But Karen tried to tell her, like, listen, this is how you was. I remember when you was doing this and you was insecure about your weight. And they brought up a situation about, I guess, how these frat guys was trying to talk to Danny. And they was, like, that's trying to run a train on her or something like that. And then Danny was like, listen, I know I was there. Deja vu. And then she talked about how she brung in a guy and she was repeatedly slapped, spit on like a dog. And yeah, she did what she did because he deserved it. So it was like, whatever. So then everybody else, she was like, listen, you and Gary, the wife tried to kill you. He pushed off the bridge, held you at gunpoint. Then you got with Robin, and then all this other stuff. Then she talked about Sabrina and Calvin's the vibrator man, whatever the case may be. Then she got on camera and was like, listen, you and you with the preacher, and then his wife killed herself at your job, and then now you're pregnant, and now you don't know if it's his baby or your ex. Like, listen, don't talk about me if your stuff ain't clean. Like, I know we all ain't perfect, but listen, don't be coming in here trying to attack me in my own home. So then Danny got heated and was like, listen, they was like, we know you mad, and we not leaving you. So Danny was like, okay, that's cool, that's fine, but I'm out. I got a date, I'm out. So she eventually leaves, and then the girls go to sit down, try to, see if was the right move. Sabrina was like, was that the right move? I guess not. That just went left. So, Danny's in her car now. I wondered, did she get her car fixed or did she get a rental? But whatever. She's in her car, driving down the road or whatever, and she gets a call from Preston. Preston was like, listen, hey, I'm just talking to you, and then I want to talk to you real quick about something. And Danny was like, listen, I do not want to see that girl. He was like, listen, that's not what it's about. That's not what it is. I just want to come pick up my things. And she was like, listen, this is what you always do. You always find a way to do, like, bother me. And Preston was like, you and this attitude got to go. So she was like, well, whatever. He was like, I just want to come pick up my clothes and stuff like that. He said, well, listen, I'll put all your stuff in the box out front of the door, and, that's what it is. She was like, yeah, whatever, cool, that's it. And, goodbye, Preston. Like, she really letting this man who once was a stranger to, like, go. Like, he's a good man. Like, you gotta let some of this hurt that you're carrying and baggage go. Like, open up, express yourself more. Go see a therapist. Because right now, Danny, I see you really going through a lot. And instead of, letting it out, you keeping it bottled in, and you pushing away people that actually love you. Like your girls and Preston. Like, and then you fall in the category of with these not so good men. And it's making you seem like you got a problem. I mean, she got a problem, but like a problem with, controlling and sticking to one man. That type of situation. So that was that. Next, we have Maurice. He goes to see Q at the airport because he has a tracking device on his car. So he was like, give me my effing keys. You stole my car. I'm just trying to get my keys back, stuff like that. And he was like, nah, I'm good. So he basically was with all the smoke. And next thing you know, Q pulls out a gun from behind his back. Like, listen, the only reason why you got me last time because you snuck me. So he pointed the gun at him and was like, listen, you ain't about it now. So them two started tussling. Maurice was getting some hits in. He was hitting him really good. Next, they started fighting over the gun, and then boom, you hear a gunshot. That's the end of the episode. Like, what a way to end the episode. I hope nobody got hurt. And if somebody did get hurt, sad to say, but, Q, need you out the picture, dude. I need you out the picture, dude. Sorry. Give Maurice back his life. Regain his life, because what was taken from him He lost a part of himself while he was locked up. And he lost a part of himself by his stuff being stolen along with his car, and he lost his job. So it's like he's really going through the motions. So, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. That's why I said too little, too late. Like, now you want to make right. But right when you should have made right in the beginning. Should have tried to right that wrong in the beginning. From when he took Calvin's checks, yeah, y'all wouldn't be in the situation that you're in. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I can't wait for season 6. I'm going to be on it, girl. I'm going to be on it like swimwear. So with that being said, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap of the season finale. Episode 22 of season 5. Too little, too late. And with that being said, I'll see y'all soon. Bye.